We just went ahead and taped it off and shot it because there's no sense in starting the show and ending the show. But you get to see what it looks like here. Let me pull this up. Let's see here. My channel. There we go. The Unwrapping. We're live. And okay. All right. Let's break out your heat gun in case we need it, John.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Sit right back and hear a tale. Hear that bullshit.
Now, after all this work, the trick is, did we seal off all of the white? Because red is notorious for finding its way everywhere. It took some time to tape this stupid thing off. Merry Christmas. Rip, rip, rip. Thank you. Better not say it.
You want to jinx yourself.
Believe it or not, the trailing edge on this side came out all right. Where you push it down with the Allen wrench.
Good.
Usually that doesn't happen.
Especially not in the inside corner of anything.
Not so worried about tape on tape, a little more concerned with tape on airplane. Yeah, let's get a bunch of crap and buy some art. let's get the landing gear on it so we can flip it on its wheels. Put it on, take it off. Put it on, take it off. Unwrap them.
Such is the rise and shine of cornflake time.
Nine watchers, no chatters. I couldn't get done everything I wanted to get done. There's just, I couldn't do the yellow, so I have to do it the next time. Of course, by then I'll probably have my numbers figured out and the rest of the trim. Very careful on the trailing edge. Then
No. I don't know anything about that stuff.
slightest resistance, put the heat to it.
Come on, man.
Yeah, Joe.
Can't just go in here and haphazardly rip. Said it was like Christmas.
Yeah.
I've never done this.
Okay, turn it over. Well, it's coming.
That was already on there.
What?
This big bad spot on this trailing edge right here.
Yeah. And they were far from perfect.
That's a big one. That's a big one. Good old big one.
Gonna take some work.
Same spots that I always have. Shit happening, man.
It was easy, everybody do it. Gotta do it from the bottom. What happened? Oh,
What
go
do
the
you
other
got?
way. Stop. Go the other way.
It's broke. It's all the way off.
Yeah. go from that way to her back and put a drop of CA on it.
Well, you're not gonna get off the tape. Same spot. Always have problems with them. That's peeling that tape straight back on itself like this, and it still did that.
Yeah, just have to take a brush, little CA
I
on it.
have to let you do this stuff.
Yeah.
Put me on these button flaps. I know what you did.
Just take the paper off and I'll get the tape.
I would have used green tape on that. You don't have any corners to go around. Sharp bends. Green tape's much better as far as sticking goes. I quit using that blue tape for a long, long time. Now you can't hardly find the green tape. I think they quit making it.
It's all part of the game. That won't be hard to fix.
No, it's almost went into two colors, but
We got a little bit of bleed right there.
stupid red paint.
The way it goes.
There's a little bleed right here.
Get some alcohol on it.
Got to do like Gieske did. Just paint the whole damn thing. Yeah, man.
Yeah, some of them old airplanes were pretty plain. Facebook. Gotta do Facebook. Fuck Facebook. Okay. Winship bottle. Winship says, we're not chatting because we're on the edge of our seat to see what the thing is exposed. I'm on the edge of my seat to make sure I don't pull up any paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So far, so good inside the trailing edge.
Yeah, that one little teeny spot on that flap.
That double taping really helps because there was some bleed from one layer to the next. And the next layer saved it.
Definitely does help.
I need to get that off. Okay. How many times you guys been pulling up tape and ripped it all the way down to the wood?
Anybody that does ain't paint at all is gonna say yes to that one. How many people have problems right on the apex of the leading edge and trailing edge of the stab and elevators, the trailing edge of the wing?
Everybody.
And then me and Sparky both had problems there or had problems. And I don't know whether you don't get the paint on wet enough to make it stick, or what the problem is.
I can tell you this, never pull away, always pull into the trailing edge. Just like that.
That's the way I always do it. In my planes, I've tried every which way to do it. This is the best way I've found. Come across just like this and pulling it 90 degrees away from it. It's not the open areas that I ever have problems with. It's always right on that radius. or the V or whatever you sanding into your leading edges.
I think somebody asked me, "Oh, did you get mad when John?" No, because that's just the way it is. I'll doctor it up. The blush came out of this too.
Listen, if it pulled up on me, it's gonna pull up on him. Plain and simple.
Part of the game. Okay, you got that. It'll look real good with the yellow stripe next to it. And I can test to see how it's going to look by taping a yellow stripe on it.
Yeah, you can. Sure can. You fucking little prick. I caught you, but you still took a little bit. Fucking little pinpoint, little spot. Like he's laughing. He thinks he's got me. He's got a 1/4 inch left to go. I got his number. Wrong end. Wrong end again.
There's only 2 ends.
There's 3 on this one. Even green tape will do this. You know that?
Yeah. I think it's because we don't get enough paint on it.
I think it is too. We're relying too much on.
Trying to get for our tweezers. Can't get her started. There it is.
Sometimes it's hard to tell.
There's one for you. Look at this. Around the leading edge, pulled up some white. But guess what? It was white underneath.
Oh, man. That's ridiculous.
Right there.
I can't find the edge of this. Might be up here. Huh.
So that means I didn't get, it was a dust coat on that leading edge instead of a wet coat.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Like I say, there's white underneath it. Yeah, I could just clear over that and you'd never see it.
Yeah. Well, this one flap really had, they went right down to the wood.
The what?
This one flap really got that big bad spot in it. It went right down to the wood. From the last, from one of the checkerboards we were putting on
Yeah. Yeah, I got a little bleed there. Park with, of course.
it. That's a pain in the ass to repair too.
What?
Where it's at, cause you gotta tape off two colors and shit. You gotta,
That's it. Where?
this whole section here.
No, that's no big deal.
Get that one
No
right
big
there.
deal.
Got a green spot out here. Paint white ones will get down. Well, that's all the fraction millimeters.
It almost makes you wonder, well, why am I taping this off if these problems are gonna happen?
Yeah, it makes you wonder sometimes. Wander too far, you get lost. I've been known to do that every whip switch.
Give me the scalpel, would you? I can't get a blade in there. It'll take a week just to touch up.
Oh yeah. Easy. That pencil airplane of mine in there, it was I had the big long pinstripes run, blue tape running down the fuselage and the wing and everything. I had pull ups everywhere. Right in the middle of the wing. I was cussing that blue tape big time. And then I did the other wing with green and did the same shit. And that was in areas too that wasn't normal. That's another thing you do. You dig a hole in it with the tip of a.
Fortunately, it's in the trailing edge. Yeah, you can.
Especially when you're picking them stencils off and stuff.
The stripes really work, Sparky. Yeah. Mike Miller says check back later. Chris Everson says looking good. It'll pop really good when the yellow goes on it. But we're not going to get that today. Maybe tomorrow at the apartment. Depending on the weather.
Yeah, here we are painting in the rain again.
Well, it's either raining or hotter than hell here. You know, you got two seasons, rain and heat. You got snow too.
Yeah.
Well, if I don't rush it, I can get this off and not have a problem. And
I even did it like this, or tried it like this, where you take and you pull the tape back and you sort of let it stick to your finger.
don't put that up there.
And rub it.
Yeah. I usually angle it off like that.
Well, I do that too. It still does.
Yeah, I know. It's not your fault. You know, I know that.
I pulled it straight up like that.
Oh, that's
straight
okay.
back over itself. I pulled it sideways this way, sideways that way. I've taken my finger, and here's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Stop right there. Is do it like this, where you're pushing down on it
Yeah.
and rolling it back on itself, and it'll still do it doing that.
It's because of the way we paint. If we laid into it and put
My car coat
a
paint
car
on it.
paint job on it, it wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
The red on here took 1 fluid ounce. That's it. That much in the cup.
Thin.
Thin, yeah.
Thin, really thin. In fact, you put more thinner on it.
Yeah, it's double thinned. It's probably 80% thinner. Okay. Those are the noises I don't like to hear. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it's typically pulling up at that point. I've even had it pull up and leave a bubble where it didn't actually take the paint off, but it just pulled a bubble into it.
Look how lucky I got. Where it took the white up. But I fooled you. It's white underneath.
Don't count your chickens. That sucker will sit there and laugh at you. Silly boy. Tricks are for kids. I've done that too, where the tape was hanging off my hand and it stuck itself back to something, and then I pulled it off and pulled friggin' paint off. I say, you little bastard.
Well,
My French boys.
you should be having less problems now that you're using my method. You know, I don't see why you would have.
Well, the only thing I did different was I put on more coats of paint. You know, I wasn't on a diet. I still thinned my paint 60 and 70%, and I used retarder when I needed to. I tried to stay away from it as much as I could, but I don't know, retarder might be one of the tickets to it.
Well, got it off without any super huge screw ups. Got the typical little ones, but whatever. Let's put the motor back in it. And I think I should have the ball driver over here. That ain't it, is it? Okay, put the motor back in it. 80 ounces.
Keeps gaining and never gets lighter at this stage of the ball game. It never ever gets lighter. Only gains.
In and out, in and out. Why do you take your motor in and out? So I know where we're at in weight.
Well, the one thing about leaving it out and leaving them a lot of that stuff off, your airplane's a lot lighter and it's a little easier to handle, but
Yeah.
you need to be there's little things that need to be done around that engine that aren't done yet that needs, you know,
Like what?
well, permanently running fuel lines and stuff like that, you know. And
What's in there? Everything's in there.
I know it's in there, but it's not in there.
It's in there. Fuel filter and all. Everything's just exactly the way it's supposed to be. Every washer.
Did you carve out the inside of that nose where the fuel line curves into the engine?
Don't have to.
I did on mine. You know you can't run that motor and be competitive anymore.
Oh yeah. Who said that?
Well, I say it all the time.
Facebook.
All you got to do is look on your website. All you can look on there, you'll find it there all over the place. That's antiquated.
Been in the top 20 with it, so.
Seems to me, guy won the worlds with one here a few years ago.
Yeah. And this is probably more high zoop than his was.
Yeah, I would imagine. I think the only thing he had on his was it was a dual ring 60. I think it was. I'm probably wrong on that. But
I'd rather have this motor.
no, that's an ABC motor.
It's late modern technology.
Sort of.
Hopefully the port timing is the same. Sounded real good when we ran it.
It's the same as the other one. You got a piston liner in it too.
I got another one. Another piston and liner.
A third one?
Mm-hmm.
You need to sell that one to me.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because I got one that's dead. I need to put it in there.
Well, I got about 5 of them. I need one good one.
Yeah.
Actually, I was on the list. I think I was going to get 3 of them from Brian. And I went through open heart surgery. And I had to call him up and cancel my order.
Yeah, you told me. Maybe the needle those pliers, the real small ones. No, the long. Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Well, I got a long set.
That's it.
That's them.
See, you got the fuel filter on it. Everything. Yep, that's fine.
Hey, mister, where'd you get that spinner?
Yeah, some guy, some hack machinist in his basement made it. It'd probably be 59 ounces now. Think we added an ounce?
Maybe quarter. I doubt it's even a quarter ounce.
Mostly thinner. I used to own 2 Jimmy Cassell Spectrums, and they were light. They were foam wings, but they were light. You should see how he painted. You could see through the paint. I mean, it was white tinted. I mean, like our tinted white, and the base cut and the trim colors were like nothing.
Sure. I used to paint RC car bodies like that. If you put it on thick, they crack when you hit something. You had to make it a see-through finish. But when you set it down on the floor, it got a dark background and everything turned opaque.
Yeah.
They look great. You hold them up in the light and they look like crap.
That was Jimmy Cassell's airplane. Super Tiger 60s. They flew good. I sold them, and they didn't last long.
Yeah, that happens.
They were splattered in a month, both of them. Okay. Let's see what it looks like. Tape. Okay. Yeah, I got some flap work to do anyway, because over here on the edge.
Yeah, there's some little thin white areas. It didn't pull paint up, it's just thin.
Yeah. Pretty
Yeah,
thin.
this one goes over there.
You're right. Where are you going?
You got inboard and outboard. You got them work somewhere.
Not really. That one goes on this side, that side. I just know.
It's your airplane. You heading off them on 50,000 times.
There we go. Winship says, I used to use a product called Veryl Seal. It was made to spray over lacquer primer so the color would stick better. I wonder if it would work over the other primers and dope. Probably, but I don't want to use it.
This is peeling off all the way down to the wood. It'll peel the tissue and everything off right down to the wood.
And it
ain't for lack of using thinner either, because it's penetrating and all that stuff, and
it's just typical. Been doing it, almost going on 60 years. It's just the way that it is.
Yeah. I can't remember. I painted a few airplanes, didn't have any pull up on any of them, but then
That's
it's
luck.
not consistent.
Yeah, it's luck. Pure luck. You ain't got no pull-ups. They're just little shit, and it's nothing to fix.
Yeah, it is. It's a week.
It's a pain in the ass, but
You get this whole thing painted, and then you'll spend the whole next week after it's painted and
doctoring it up.
doctoring it up, fixing F-ups.
Part of the game. Well, what do you think? Them stripes work? They help? I like it. It'll pop real good when it gets the yellow on it. And then when all this gets inked.
So got your AMA numbers and
Yeah.
all that stuff to go on there.
I think what's going to happen is it's going to get AMA numbers, wicks on the flap, snap on the other one. My pseudo racing plane.
Yeah, just think you got all them cylinders and fake exhaust paint on the front of it.
Got to put that
Scallops
gold
there
cowl
to
up
do.
there. Yeah, the scallops on the nose still got to go
Are
on
you
there.
gonna paint? Are you gonna paint one piece of gold, that little window like thing? You gonna paint that gold?
Maybe.
The one little section of gold on it.
Yeah. The inspection door.
Yeah.
I'm going to ink around these.
Yeah. You're gonna ink all of it then.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah. Once you do one, you got to do them all.
Of course, it gets panel lines on it.
That'll take you a week.
Oh, yeah. You know, this thing's a month or two out yet.
I gotta get my kitchen done so I can actually work on that thing. I gotta finalize a paint scheme for it. And
You paint flames on it?
I doubt it. I don't do their flames very well.
Stripes?
Although if I
Checkerboard?
could do the real flames, you know what I'm talking about? The real flame.
Yeah.
Flames. If I could do that, and I don't think I'm good enough to pull that one off.
You have them come out of the countertop. Think she'd like that?
She'd love me. She'd love me for that one.
Okay, guys, let me know what you think. Did it turn out all right? Did we, did I overdo it? Of course, it ain't anywhere close to being done.
No, there's a lot more paint on that puppy yet. $70 ounces.
No. Let's see what it weighs. That feels heavier already.
Looks heavy.
Have to add a half ounce for the prop. $3,100.
$109 ounces.
Yeah.
One 300.
3100.
Was it 310?
Yeah.
3100. By 28.33 equals. That's not right.
What is it? No.
I've done it 3 times. It came out that all 3 times.
3,100
I know it's not right.
divided by point
Some button sticking or something.
8.33. Oh, must have the set. RCCM 3100 divided by.
It can't be that. It's 1300.
That's what. Oh shit. 28.33 times 58 equals 1643.
45.887. 46 ounces.
Really?
Is that right? Does that sound right? I think it's light.
I think we better weigh it again.
I think that might be a good idea because I don't think that scale was doing something right.
On.
It's more than 45 ounces.
Okay. That's ounces
It only does ounces and pounds.
and grams.
Ounces and grams.
That's 10 grams. So
You
we
gotta
don't-
hit clear when you put all that stuff on. Well, not the pilot.
Yeah. It's zeroed. It went off. Batteries must be going bad. It's 0. You go down to that. You got 10 grams. Come on. $16.44. That sounds better. Is that right? Gotta be.
58.03.
So it's 58 and a half ounces. Add a half ounce for the prop. $58 and a half. That means it's gonna be 2 ounces heavier than my other one.
Mine was 58.
Yeah.
I don't have all the current colors on it yet.
Don't have the fuel line in it. Don't have the fuel
Yeah,
filter.
it's got fuel line in
Okay.
it. Probably an inch short.
Dan says, looks good on the bench and will present well in the air. And Christopher Everson said 57.9, but it's 58 and a half. Or thereabouts. So it'll be 60 ounces when it's done. And I can live with 60. I'll have to.
Yeah, I have a choice.
Unless the Casminato tank is, the new one I'm getting is half ounce lighter. Possible. Could go to the Medusa spinner. I know that takes a half ounce off.
Yeah, but you might need the nose weight. You still nose heavy right now?
Not without the prop on it. I don't know where I'm at. As long as I don't get in the upper 60s, it should balance fine. You know, fly it, and if it feels sluggy, then I'll have to start lightening up the nose. I have no place to add weight, so
You stick a big chunk of clay on
yeah,
it.
big goober, like Howard Rush does, a big clod.
Comes flying off while you're out there flying, goes through somebody's wing in the pit.
Okay, let's a little quick tour, and then I'm off.
He's off all the time, but
Yeah.
didn't use that. Let me get it out.
So the next thing is a yellow stripe right here. And then we're gonna go with the red and yellow stripe on the nose. I was gonna do red, white, and blue, but I think blue would be just too much. I gotta repair this spot here, dust white on that. I'll probably do that at the apartment. Just that about wraps it up for Saturday at John's for this week. Appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, share the videos, and I'll try to get on this week and do something. Of course, I say that every week. I'm just so damn tired at the end of the day.
Oh, you're all the time doing something. You clandestinely do stuff all the time.
Yeah, well,
You're not filming at all.
it's kind of boring. Waiting on anybody. If anybody has anything to say. We got 20 watchers.
Good.
21, 5 thumbs up. Make sure to hit the like button. That's that one with the up thumbs.
So, yeah. Don't hit the down one.
Yeah, that gives
That's
us.
not a good one.
Well, it doesn't really much matter, but I'd rather see up votes than down votes. It helps the algorithm.
Whatever that is. One of them technical computer jargons.
Yeah.
Maybe this week I'll get this thing in white.
Get out the roller.
Yeah.
Get out.
Big pen. I got one of them heavy nap ones. Got hair on about that long.
Get out the roller and load her up.
Use little kills. Make sure it gets all that covered.
Make sure you post that to Facebook where all them professional flyers are
I
flying.
got that whitewash stuff that goes on there after that kills is on there. That that Portland cement mixed with lime, made up into a slurry, and you slurry it all over with it. Sort of wipe it off.
I think that one guy on Facebook has been following somebody, I won't say who it is, following somebody on Stunt Hanger with that stake and peg planking.
Really?
Yeah. Somebody on Stunt Hanger does that.
Might be the same person.
No. Begins with an A.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then we'll slather on the spackle.
I mean, you gotta have a little bit off somewhere. I mean, to think that that's the way to do that, why? I mean, I'd totally plank the outside of it before I do that. Literally, and I've done plank jobs. You used to do all this stuff, planking instead of molding it, when you didn't have any solid pieces of wood big enough to do it.
Plastic dip. Yeah, that'll work.
There we go. Yeah.
You're learning. You must be watching Facebook.
Hey, just like your thing, I'm plastic dip. Right here in red.
Yeah, here, show them.
This stuff right here, the best stuff, the color you're playing with. Can't beat it. Just dip it in there and let her drip off the end and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Plastic dip in the king size can.
I can't believe we got one little bleed. Where's it at? Top of the flap. It is minute, but it's just aggravating. Let's see if it comes up. Still in the same place we put it the last time.
Yeah, anyway, I think we got it off a little bit, really.
Yay, it came up.
That's good. Das ist gut.
It's just flashing. I'll card it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's still pretty green. It's still a little bit there.
Yeah, I ain't worried about that one. You'll never see that one.
I know it's there.
Yeah, you may know it's there, but tough.
I seen an AMA send a thing out to me, or wasn't to me, it was on Facebook or something. They got a plastic molding video on there, guys trying to mold spinners.
Yeah.
Well, he went through the same trials and tribulations anybody does. It doesn't do it very often. You know, you pull 5 or 6 things because they all got screw ups and pleats in the plastic and all that stuff, and you get the plastic too hot and you get air bubbles in it, and
You mean
not hot enough, and it doesn't.
you mean
pull.
canopies he was pulling?
No, he pulling a spinner,
Oh,
a big spinner. It looked to be about a 3-incher,
that'd be easier.
but it was a P51 spinner, parabolic spinner, sort of sharp on the nose. I could see where it would be, but he did the same thing. He had to put standoffs underneath. Ended up with a roll of duct tape or something underneath of it in order to get it to pull without wrinkles. What I'm going to try the next time, I'm going to pull canopy, and then I'm going to leave it on there, and then I'm going to pull canopy over top of it.
You make it bigger.
Well, the thickness of the plastic, I mean, how much bigger is that?
Whatever the thickness of the plastic is, 60 thousandths.
30,000.
30 thousandths twice. 30 on each side.
Yeah, but it'll mold. Ain't not the deal. That's a pencil line.
Putty! Just putty it in.
A pencil line. When you're scratch building, who cares anyway? You can do whatever you want to with it.
That canopy turned out nice. Huh.
Yeah, but I think we could do better just by doing that. I know one thing, if you don't primer it and make it perfectly smooth and everything, and you pull a canopy on just a piece of wood, it'll show every wood grain in it that there was. And you could have sanded that thing with 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 grit paper. I don't care what you sand with it, it'll still pull the wood grain
It
in.
needs to be aluminum, machined out of aluminum.
I'm not so sure that that's even good, because I had a problem where I even tried to heat up the mold itself, because I felt like it was cooling the plastic too fast. And so I put the mold in the oven and got it warm, and that only made things worse. I tried waxing. You don't want to wax them. You get air bubbles in them. I had one where I used primer paint on it, And that's all I had on was primer sanded to, mirror finish.
Probably the best way to
Then
do
I
it.
pulled the canopy and it had paint on it when I pulled it off the mold.
The best way to do it is to make the mold, the buck that you want to use. Take that buck and pour a silicone mold out of it, and then pour that plastic stuff in it, so that
Yeah, but you gotta have it. I don't know if that's even all that much better. Just creating another step. It costs you $50 for a box of that. And then however much for that plastic come out of there. And if your mold isn't good enough to pull off of,
well, you got to make sure the mold's good.
I mean, I could see doing something like that if you're going to go into production and you're going to pull 1,000 canopies.
Because that plastic, that white plastic that you buy, I can't remember what they call it, but it comes from the same place.
Yeah, you would never wear one out.
It's hard. It's
Yeah.
and it's like machined. Use basswood and glass resin to make a sail pane canopy. That's what Chris Everson did.
I took a canopy from a Nobler and poured it full of plaster of Paris and then put sides on it so it was deeper. And pulled that out and used that as my plug for a new canopy, and it came out great. Plaster of Paris.
It did. You still got that?
Yeah. In fact, we pulled about 4 or 5 canopies off of it.
We pulled 4. I got 1 left. That's good.
You'll lose it before you ever use it.
Yeah, I'll probably never make another one of these. I'll build this airplane, but it won't look like this. Because I'm building one now that won't look like this.
And I did that Tucano canopy. That thing was like that long. It's huge, that tall. And sort of, real shapy. And it was all I could do to get that out of a piece of plastic. I must have I bet you I pulled 10 of them before I got a good one. What I considered a good one. I kept playing with it, trying to get, because it got so close to the edges of my mold that in my vacuum box, that when it pulled it, it couldn't stretch enough right in the corners, right on the ends of it, because I had to run from corner to corner in the box. That was as big a plastic as I could get with these 18 by 18, I think that's what they were, 16 or 18 inches.
Well, I'm real happy with how it turned out, John.
It's getting there.
We got the trailing edges good. And as far as the trailing edges on these, it's just the way it is.
You get this yellow stripe in here, that'll take up all this area right here, and you'll still just barely have enough room for...
No, yellow stripe goes inside here.
Oh, in here?
It goes here, and then here. It doesn't go up here, it just starts at the leading edge here.
Oh, okay. But it's that wide?
Yeah.
With an 1/8 inch and 1/8 inch?
Yeah. And the dancing girls and the checkerboard.
Semi-truck mud flap girls.
You gotta busy it up. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm gonna get off of here. And we'll see you next week on Saturday at John's. And we appreciate you watching. So fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Yep, have a good one, guys.